Alright, Druid of the Saber. Okay, so this is basically either a 2-1 charge, kind of like the Murloc Charger, which is not really a decent card, but it's like okay. Like actually, like the Murloc Charger actually is a lot more decent than people give it credit for. The bluegill, and or it could be a 3-2 stealth. I feel like I think I'd rate this card a little bit higher, if not for the fact that the other Druid card is so good, like the 2-mana Wild Growth one. I guess like they would have to fit in different decks. Like, I guess so. The way I'm thinking is like the more standard Druid decks, like the mid-range ramp combo ones, are probably going to be using the ramp one. And this almost feels like I've actually played a Druid like this before, like the Haunted Creeper style with the 2 Defender Arguses, Echoing Ooze. Maybe it's like a smaller Druid like that, and like Power of the Wild. I think this card would fit better in that kind of Druid. The stealth kind of guarantees it survives. Charging, like that kind of Druid's still using Savage Roar, so like it could be like a kind of like a combo card with a charge, or it can kind of be a board control card. But I feel like it's mostly for that kind of deck, and the other Druid card just kind of overshines it too much. So oh, it's actually a beast. Interesting. Okay, so I mean this doesn't say on the card, but I'm assuming that from the chat they're both beasts. Which, I don't really know if it's going to change that much, but let's say it's something in a Beast Druid. In fact, you know, that kind of Druid, actually I'm talking about the Haunted Creeper one and Defender Argus, is actually kind of a Beast Druid, because Haunted Creeper and Power Wall are beasts. So actually that could be more synergy where people are actually running the 5-mana 7/7. When I ran that deck, I didn't even run the 5 like Druid of the Fang, just because it wasn't good enough still. But it could be, like, good enough, so... It could be good. I kind of think Druid Saber belongs to that kind of deck. Oh, I've seen this one before. It sounds like interesting. I've seen this compared to Fire Elemental for 6 mana, where you're dealing 3 damage on turn 6 with your hero power, and it's like a 5/4, a little bit weaker. I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like it's too comparable because it's not Inspire, give your hero +2 attack, +2 armor. It's just +2 attack, so it's not like truly dealing 3 damage to something because you actually have to like face tank it. Normally, if you want to deal 3 damage to something, you kind of want to get that armor back as a Druid. And if you're just like taking all the damages, it doesn't really count as like a Fire Elemental. But it's also a 4-mana 5/4, which is like kind of playable on its own right. I guess I don't feel like this is gonna be too influential. I almost feel like Druid is one of the classes that don't use Inspire very well. Like I feel like Inspire is really good for like Paladin and Shaman. It's kind of like because Inspire for like Druid hero power is kind of situational to begin with. It's not like a hero power that makes a guy like Paladin or Shaman. It's like a hero power that you want to use on key turns, like to kill 1 health stuff or whatever. So seems like it's a really strong arena card though. It definitely has just a lot of brute power. Oh yeah, so I mean I talked about this one already. This one's like really good. I feel like this is I think like one of the main things like people are finding. I think one of the reasons why like mid-range combo Druid isn't like super popular right now in tournaments and stuff, and I don't even rank it as a very good deck, just because I think it's a little bit too inconsistent. This is like really good. It fills that gap a lot, just because if you don't have Wild Growth or Innervate, your deck kind of plays completely different. So I feel like this card can really like fill in the mana gap. So I think this is actually like a good card. There's not, like nothing even. I guess it's like not even that complicated. It's just like straight out good. It's probably one of the best cards in this expansion. Just got released today, right? I've seen it this afternoon. I mean, I like it. This is like a card that fits in an existing deck, I guess. Like I know a lot of cards don't fit in existing decks, so I guess I'll talk about them when we get there. But Aviana kind of fits in Ramp Druid a lot, especially with say Emperor. It's like very, I guess like obvious that it fits with Emperor very well. I saw like a tweet about it where it's actually kind of like a nice card because in like a tempo, it's like actually a kind of a tempo card. In a way, it doesn't make sense because 9-mana 5/5. Why is that a tempo card? But like what it allows you to do is like say you have Cenarius and Aviana on turn 10, you're effectively paying 1 mana for a 5/5, which is a lot of tempo, especially like Emperor. Like I guess like 9-mana 5/5 doesn't seem like tempo, but this whole effect is a tempo effect. It allows you to throw out your mains quickly. It's going to be like interesting because not all matchups you do want to throw your cards quickly. Like against Brawl, you don't want to just throw out everything, but that's not exactly the biggest deal. You can always like play around it. It gives Ramp Druid a lot more playability. Like I feel like one of the things about Ramp Druid is that can only do one thing a turn, which is not good enough against a lot of matchups. Like, say against Rogue, you do not want to play one card a turn. Like, you're just going to die saps before you get, like, to taunt them out with Ancient Allures or Ancient Wars. I actually think that this is, yeah, actually a good card in Ram Druid. It's not just like I actually don't think I want to rate very many cards highly, but I think this one is actually pretty cool and pretty good in Ram Druid. Just because it allows you to, like, it gives your deck more playability in a way, kind of like Quartermaster gives playability in mid-range Paladin. It, like, just, like, deepens the strategic aspect of your deck, like, opens up more possibilities and things like that. Alright, done with the Druid, going to the Hunter now. Brave Archer, I, like, as cool as, like, Smorking stuff is, I don't value this card very good. I don't think it's, as, like, how many times, realistically, say this is clearly like a face hunter card, and how long do you feel like your mains are going to survive as a face hunter? Like one turn, right? Like you're not this is not staying around for 10 turns with the Inspire, you know, just hero powering down them forever. It's realistically like a one-shot thing. Like you're going to get one shot out of Brave Archer. You play it at the end. You either play as a 1-mana 2/1, meaning it's weaker than a Leper Gnome, probably weaker than Abusive and Worgen. Maybe not Worgen, but probably is weaker than Worgen Infiltrator. It's definitely weaker than Abusive and Leper Gnome. It's only going to start one turn. You have to, like, it's a weaker one drop than those minions, and then at the end, it's like kind of comparable. So I don't think it's that good. I'd say it's just not good. Okay. Anyways, Ball Spires. This is actually a really interesting card. This is one of the cards I feel like is like opening up different lines of play from like the design perspective. I guess like as I talk about cards, probably talk about the design a lot just because I'm really into game design. I know that's probably not what you guys want to hear anyways, but it's like this card is an insanely powerful effect. It's just not good in Hunter, you know? So like say you have Ball Spiders and a Warrior or a Mage, like, you know, Duplicate Grinder Mage or like a Control Warrior or Priest. Like this card is like the ultimate value. 6 mana for 3/1/1s. Not too strong, but they're like, think about how much value you're adding to your deck. Like, yeah, you could like get 3 bad beasts, but realistically, if you play 3, like it's not that unlikely to get even like a King Crush or even like a 5/5 or 5 Stealth Beast or like a Savannah Highmane. So like, there's like so many beasts that are kind of high mana, and this is like realistically, if you count all the mana, like how much mana you can spend on a Ball of Spiders, you can realistically spend like 30 mana on one card. Again, it's like a hunter card, right? So hunters don't really play like a grind. There's no grinder hunter, you know. It's like hunters are aggro, but I love them adding in this card. It's just, as far as like whether it's gonna spawn control hunter as archetype or whatever, I don't know, but it's like a first step, and it's definitely cool. People are gonna be able to experiment around it, and it makes like the game more fun for a lot of players, including me. I guess 30 is maybe a little too much, right? Like, so you spend 6 on this. If you get 3 Highmanes, 18. That's like, realistically, you can spend, let's say, 20 mana on it. Alright, Lock and Load. I think I've seen like someone sent me like a deck with Lock and Load before, kind of like a cool test, like with some of the spoiled cards. I guess it's kind of cool in the sense that you can combo with Flared Tracking and Hunter's Mark. These are like some, Hunters have a lot of cheap spells. You can also, I guess, like, it's kind of cool because it might even be more of like a Control Hunter card in a way. Even though it kind of makes sense to add those cards into Aggro Hunter, it doesn't make sense to use Lock and Load as an Aggro Hunter. It's just like, there's no way you're paying 2 mana for this in Face Hunter or even Mid-Range Hunter. I almost feel like this is actually more of a control card too. Like control cards using like, I guess like Control Hunters, if they do spawn, they're going to be a little different in the sense that it might be like not like a grind where you actually fatigue out, because you'd probably use like tracking and things like that where you'd lose cards, but more like a more late game spell oriented hunter with like explosive shots and lock and loads and webs, ball spiders and stuff. It could be pretty cool. It's hard to exactly say, but actually I don't think it's going to fit in the current Face Hunter or mid-range hunter. Like something like a miracle kind of list, maybe like how Rogue does it now. Like rogues are kind of their own category. Like Miracle Rogue or Oil Rogue isn't exactly an aggro deck. Kind of not a control deck either. It's kind of like its own thing. I don't know. On to the mage cards. Add a random spell card to each player's hand. 3 mana for 3/4. The interesting thing is like it almost feels like this is more like a control card. But the weird thing is, I guess like I have a couple thoughts on this. Like normally when you're a control deck, you have a high mana curve, and when you're fighting against aggro, they have a low mana curve. So when you add a card to both players' hands, it kind of benefits the aggro player more because you have stuff to do. You're limited by tempo and mana. You can't throw out your hand fast enough. Whereas an aggro player, they can throw out everything and then have that extra card. But then on another note, it's like it's not a random card; it's a random spell card, and most spell cards are more control oriented. More like, say, there's a lot of removal, for example, so it might not benefit aggro that much. I don't think this is like an aggro card, although it could see some play in like Tempo Mage and things like that, just because Tempo Mage benefits so much from spells with like Flame Waker and Sorcerer Apprentice. So I guess this is like really flexible, and like I probably play Grinder Mage like almost like the most out of anyone, probably. Like it's like my favorite deck almost, and I've been just wanting like a solid 3-drop. If you actually look at how like the mains are, like the only real 3-drops you have are like Big Game Hunter and Mind Control Tech. They're not really 3-drops, they're just like situational cards. There's not like really solid 3-drop. This is like the same stats as Spire Tank, and Spire Tank's like almost a solid 3-drop, and Tinker, like Blackwing Technician's actually a solid 3-drop, but it's just too inconsistent. I don't know, maybe like this would fit in just because you kind of want a random spell card in each player's hand, maybe. I still have to see. It's very hard to say without playing with it, just like how it feels, you know. Because if this actually hurts you against aggro, which I kind of suspect it might, then probably it's not going to be very good. It'll be more of a Tempo Mage card. Whereas if most of the spells are like not face damage cards, maybe things like Hexes and Polymorphs more, or like Earthshocks, then maybe it'll be what we need, or what I need in that deck. Flame Lance, I don't really have anything to say about this. This is just garb, right? This is garb. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Okay, there we go. I don't know, man. Like, 5 mana to only deal 8 damage to a minion only. Like, oh, man. Like, you got Polymorph. People don't even run Polymorph. With the Polymorph, you can just ping the minion for 1 more mana, and you can, like, get rid of, like, every minion, not just, like, 8 damage. Like, all Death Rattles, Ysera, and things like that. Alright, anyways, Effigy. When a friendly minion dies, summon a random minion with the same cost. Oh, that's actually so cool. I know I've seen this card before. It's like it could be used in Tempo Mage. It's like a Tempo Secret. Mage is missing Tempo Secrets, kind of. Like they have like Ice Block, Ice Barrier, and Duplicate. Some of my favorite secrets, but they're not Tempo. Like they contribute 0 to Tempo, whereas things like Mirror Entity, Counterspell are Tempo Secrets. Vaporize, not like kind of a Tempo Secret, but I don't know if you can count it as a Tempo because they can just trade. This is really cool. I think this will definitely see play in Tempo Mage and Control Mage as well, just because it's like a way where you can. It's like a tempo and value together, which is really good. So it's like a really good secret to get with Mad Scientist. It's like a nice combination. Like maybe you could do this on like 1 Duplicate in a Grinder Mage and with like 1 Effigy and like 1 Barrier or something. It's like I think it's a really good mix because like it gives like value in a way as well, like kind of like a Duplicate, but it also gives more tempo because it actually summons a friendly like a minion on the field instead into your hand. Sometimes double Duplicate is like too slow and you just end up like with like a huge hand, but you die before you can play everything. So I think this is like one of the best cards too. So like I guess like this is good so far, and the Druid Ramp card is really good, and Aviana is like kind of good as well. Fallen Hero, 2 mana for 3/2. Your hero power does 1 extra damage. Mage is actually a decent class for Inspire as well. Like Mage has a lot of control cards, and it's not as bad as Druid Hero Power. I feel like Mage Hero Power is generally better than Druid Hero Power, just because like if you ever ping like a 4/1, you realistically have to like Druid Hero Power like 4 times to make it up, like armoring like face, right? So it's like you can actually squeeze in quite a lot of hero powers that inspire. I just feel like tempo cards like this is not really what Mage needs, because Mage has like almost like infinite tempo cards. Like Mage has cards that will, like if you don't care about, if you have enough card draw, Mage has ways to turn card advantage into tempo really easily. There's like the ultimate tempo card, Frost Nova. There's like Doomsayer, there's Sheep, things like that. So like control mages, I don't really know if you have like problem with like turning excess cards into like tempo plays sometimes, if you want to go that route. And it feels like, I guess like it's like a nice balance. It's a strong minion as well. I don't feel like this could be played in aggro mage because just like pinging face for 2 like a hunter while your hero power's out, it's just like you don't have slots, right? You would definitely like have Mad Scientists Sorcerer Apprentice, like things like that. I don't feel like you can fit in a Fallen Hero in most of the decks, and like in a Control Mage, I feel like you have other like small cards that you could fit in, kind of. I guess I'm not rating this very high, even though it seems kind of cool. Coldarra Drake. Ooh, this is kind of interesting for like Dragon. I feel like Mage has like a lot of like control implications you can play as Mage. It's just right now people don't play Control Mage very much, and like Dragons is actually pretty cool in Mage. It's just like it's very hard to fit enough Dragons. I think the biggest thing about this is like it's a Dragon. If this was like a 6-man for 6/6, you can use your hero power any number of times. I actually don't think I would not be excited at all for it, but like it's simply because it's a Dragon that it feels like kind of excited about seeing if people can make some nice decks, because if Mage could use like Blackwing Corruptor and Blackwing Technician really consistently, you can actually make some really strong control mages. Yeah, I think realistically the only deck people are going to use this in is a control mage, if that works, like a dragon control mage. Probably a pretty strong arena card as well, because you run out of cards in arena a lot, and it's not very fast format, so realistically you can play Coldarra Drake and then like spend your whole turn pinging next turn or something. Okay, so now we're on to the Jousters. Paladin, Tuskarr Jouster, Battlecry, reveal a minion each deck. If yours costs more, heal 7 for your hero. It's like interesting. It's an interesting Jouster because against like aggro decks, you're more likely to need the heal for 7, and you're more likely to actually get the Joust off. Whereas against control decks, you're not needing the heal as much, but it's kind of weird. Like Control Warrior is actually a control deck that you really need the heal. Like Antique Healbot is actually like the best, like one of your best cards in your deck as a mid-range paladin against Control Warrior. It's kind of weird because they actually lose the late game, and the only way they win kind of is like through tempo and Alexstrasza plus Grom. But anyways, I almost feel like this is more of a control paladin card, because mid-range paladin has enough high threats where you can just afford to use like a heal bot to heal for more and more consistently. Whereas Control Paladin in a lot of matchups, like you have like I'm talking about like kind of like the Healadin with like Pyromancer Equality, Blessing of Kings, like just like a mass healing Paladin. And I feel like they're like this is an alternate route that they're pushing for Paladin as well. Like when I was talking about the Hunter alternate routes because of this card as well. So these cards are both for like Control Paladin. I feel that Control Paladin's likely to have a higher mana curve than mid-range Paladin as well for the Jouster, right? Mid-range Paladin has a lot of 2-drops and 3-drops minions, like Zombie Chows and Knife Jugglers and stuff, so probably I don't feel like it's going to be using mid-range Paladin over Healbot, just because it's not consistent enough, but I think it's a pretty nice Control Paladin card. Control Paladin's like, you have so much extra healing you can afford this to miss, so this is like the other Control Paladin card I was talking about. Yeah, jousting is like, I guess like exclusively a control thing, right? Unless they have like negative jousting, like if you joust your minion's actually weaker. Like I would say it's possible because they've made like negative inspire effects. Like if you have a negative joust effect, you'd want to play an aggro. Yeah, this is like a control. Like, this is like basically like AoE or Peacekeeper. It's not very exciting for a mid-range paladin at all. There's no way you ever play Eadric the Pure if you're ever considering running 1 equality. It's exclusively for like double equality decks, meaning like less board control. I guess like more like of like bringing back the old style paladin where you just out heal people and you just humility Elder Peacekeeper every single card they play, kind of, and like AoE when it gets too bad. That's like the old style paladin that people used to play. It was not very good, but maybe it's like it's kind of gone away. It's like basic control paladin. I feel like this is just not that strong, honestly, just because you already have board clear as paladin if it gets that bad, like Equality Consecrate and things like that. If you're playing that kind of list, and the body is like really weak. The effect is really strong, but I don't know how many times have we all played Paladin? Like it's actually hard to get Elder Peacekeeper value, right? It's like the card looks so good, Elder Peacekeeper, but it's actually hard to get targets to Peacekeeper. Oftentimes I find myself playing Peacekeeper on empty board for tempo. I mean that's why I'm saying it's exclusively a control Paladin card, but I guess like I think it will be used in control Paladin. It's just how strong the archetype will be. Argent Lance, 2 mana for a 2/2 weapon, sometimes a 2/3 if it wins the joust. I guess if you compare it to like Fire War Axe, it's not very good, but Fire War Axe is like really good. I don't think this is going to be very good because Paladin's a class that has so many weapons already. If this thing was like in a class that kind of like didn't have weapons or something, because weapons are really good if you just have a couple, but they have high diminishing returns. Like you can't play Argent Lance and play like Muster for Battle turn 3 very well, or Call Camera or True Silver Champion. I think Paladin, you're better off having high attack weapons. Like I thought that Cog Hammer was gonna be way better. Like my initial prediction on Cog Hammer was that it's actually gonna be better than True Sword Champion. Turned out to be wrong, just because like, it seems like it's stronger than True Sword Champion. But realistically, you can't afford to take so much damage. Like a 2 attack weapon is just like you can't just count as like 6 damage and True Sword was 8 damage in Cog Hammer giving a Divine Shield and Taunt. It's just like you'd much rather have a 3-2 than a 2-3 or like a 4-2 compared to a 2-4 weapon, right? So I don't like this card at all. I feel it can't really belong in any decks. Paladin, you can always just hero power in turn 2. You have so many good 2-drops as Paladin already, like Mini Bot, Knife Juggler, and things like that. So I'd say yeah, just like I don't think it's very good. It probably is not even that exciting in Arena, but cards like this can always like pop up just because like you don't have that many good choices in Arena. But yeah, this I don't think it'll show up in any top constructed deck. All right, on to the priests. 4 mana, Holy Champion, 3/5. Okay, so this is basically what? This is basically a Light Warden, 4 mana for 3/5 Light Warden. Pretty strong as far as like Dark Cultist. I think that you have to make priest minions strong just because priests is like so incentivized to use spells. They kind of just like how good is Dark Cultist? It's like so good, and priests don't even use that much. But this has like a lot of potential with like Pyromancer and Circle and stuff. You could like Holy Champion. Oh, interesting. Like you could actually like one-shot people with Holy Champion, and it's actually not as weak as Light Warden because Light Warden's so easy to kill. I don't play Priest so much. It's kind of hard to say, but I feel like any Priest minion that can get out of control is scary. And Priest has so many minions that can get out of control. That's like a Northshard can get out of control. Like almost like any minion that can get out of control for Priest is really scary, and I feel like Priest is like good, just like overload more and more minions that can like just win you the game. So that way, just kill every one of their minions instantly, and it's like a good target for Powered Shield, for example, because like it's worth more to Powered Shield a minion that has like an ability like this in the long run, or like Velen's Chosen. I'm just trying to think if it can like fit in any of the decks, right? Or like maybe you can try like one Holy Champion and like a control priests. There's really only one archetype of priest, I guess. They're just like kind of a little bit different. It's just so hard to fit in slots. I feel the decks are so competitive now. I don't know. I guess my verdict on this is like, it's hard to say. All right, on to Rogue. Shado Pan Cavalry, 5 mana for 6/7. It's kind of weird in the sense that the combo doesn't give like an immediate effect, kind of like SI. I don't think this is nearly on the level of SI. 6 mana for 6/7 is already considered unplayable, like Boulder Fist Ogre. 5 mana for a 6/7 is actually really good. Like I guess the 5 and 6 drop is a lot different, but realistically, like how are you gonna get good combo if you actually want to play it on turn 5, right? Like one of the cool things about SI Agent is that you can play it like on late game with another minion. As a 5 mana card for Rogue, you can't really fit in like turn 7 or turn 8 like Shado Pan plus something else, kind of. It's like hard. It's like too chunky in a way, and I don't know. I feel like if rogues aren't playing the Ogre, I felt like the Ogre Brute or Ogre Ninja was like one of the best, like really strong card, and no one even plays it. It's just rogues don't like minions unless they're like super fast or something, because I could see it maybe in some kind of tempo rogue, but like more minion based. But at that point you have like the Ogre Ninja, which is like a 5 mana 6/6 stealth. And there's like a downside, but I don't think that's that big. You could like prep something Cavalry. I don't think this card is very good. So, all right, Burgle, 3 mana, spell. Add 2 random class cards to your hand from your opponent's class. So I guess you can kind of think of this as like a Thought Steal or AI. Class cards are better than random cards. Like there's less bad class cards than all cards, I feel. But it's not as good as... So it's not as good as add 2 random spells to your hand, but it's better than add 2 random cards to your hand, or 2 random minions to your hand. And I don't know if like class cards for each class counter that class itself. Like I don't know if like, say Warrior's extra weak to execute, or Whirlwind, you know. I don't really know if that's true necessarily, or if like, you know, each class has cards that are good against itself generally. So for the most part I'm just treating it as like, say, kind of like a Thought Steal or something, where you it adds from outside your deck, which is not really relevant for Rogue, since Rogue never wins fatigues almost. Like for Priest, Thoughtseal is good because Priest goes to fatigue and Priest draws from outside your. I mean, Thoughtseal draws from outside your deck sometimes, which matters. Like you have a 31 card deck, kind of. Like this gives you kind of like a 31 card deck as Rogue, but it just doesn't really matter as Rogue for the most part. No, I guess like I'm just thinking about this. This is not a good card. Okay, so this is like another alternate. I guess this is another alternate, like build. Like it's bringing Rogue in a new direction. Maybe something like a, I don't know. I don't value like mill or fatigue Rogue, but that's a deck that might even matter to have more cards in your deck. Ultimately, I don't like. It's gonna be like something like Gang Up or something. It's just not good. It actually draws cards for your hand, but like as Rogue, like I've been playing Rogue for 2 hours on stream. There's no way I'm like I want to fit in a Burgle. Like Rogue is so tempo based that you don't like Sprint is not a tempo card, but you just need Sprint to like not run out of cards. And Rogue is so combo oriented in fact that you'd rather draw Rogue cards than other random cards, right? Like with the whole strategy, you can like spell power, weapons, and Tinkerbell and stuff like that. You don't really want just random cards. So I don't think this is good. Okay, Poison Blade, 4 mana, 1/3 weapon. Your hero power gives this weapon +1 attack instead of replacing it. This is like interesting. It's really interesting actually, but I feel like this is way too weak to Harrison Jones or weapon removal. If you think something like Assassin's Blade is weak, and realistically, how are you even gonna play this for Assassin's Blade? Assassin's Blade is a 3/4. This is a 1/3. So for 1 more mana, you're getting 1 more durability, and like you have to hero power like multiple times to even approach 3. Like I guess you can like Poison Blade and just keep using your hero power every turn, and then try to like one shot them eventually with like buffs. I feel like Assassin's Blade does this better, even though it's not really the same. Assassin's Blade is like big enough where you could just effectively win a game off of one Assassin's Blade if you have enough time, and if they don't have the answer. So this is like a whole nother level of greed where, yeah, like if you use your hero like 20 times in a game, it's going to be crazy, or like 6 times. But realistically, like even like Rogue against Control Warrior, one of the slowest matchups, you don't like realistically have that many, that like Assassin's Blade would be better because Control Warrior pressures Rogue quite a bit too. Like starting from like turn like 5, 6, 7 and stuff. Oh, this is, I guess like this allows Rogue to have like easier inspires, right? But that is completely on another level of greed. Like yeah, Rogue is hard to use Inspire because you're just replacing your weapon every turn. But I feel like you can't like take Inspire to that level where you're like realistically trying to get like 4 Inspire minions on board, then Poison's Blade, and then like click your hero power return. Like by that time, how are you not dead and how are they not dead? So I feel like that's just too complicated, and it's I don't think this card's good. I valued some Rogue cards wrong before, like Tinkerbell. I didn't think it was very good, but Tinkerbell is actually fast, and with prep it like makes it a lot better than I thought. Whereas this one is just really slow. I don't feel it's good. All right, anyways, on to Anub'Arak. This is one of the cards that were revealed today. 9 mana for 8/4, Death Rattle. Goes back to your hand, you summon a 4/4 Nerubian. So this is basically like Grinder Rogue style, you know? So it's like one of those cards that takes Rogue in another direction. Like, not gonna be using like Oil Rogue or Miracle or something like that. Again, like Rogue and Hunter have always had hard times playing that style just because their hero powers are so conducive to playing fast games. Like Hunter, it's obvious why the hero power leads to fast games. Rogue, it's not so obvious. But the reason why is because realistically, you can't punch what things late game as Rogue. Like you can't just keep punching stuff with the weapon, right? Like early on, like say like turns 1 to 3, Rogue hero power allows you to like it's like 2 mage hero powers or 2 druid hero powers in the sense that you can pay 2 mana and kill 2 1/1s or something, or 2 1 health minions. But you're paying a huge health premium compared to Mage and Druid. Because Druid, you're kind of getting the armor. Mage, you're not taking the damage. So it's very hard to have like a late game control Rogue based on the fact that like you don't have the health to sustain that. There have been a lot of new cards that's come out recently, like Antique Healbot, which is like a very top tier healing card that could allow Rogue to play a long game in a control game. The card is actually really strong. I feel like if Anub'Arak was another class card, like in a vacuum, it's an insanely strong card. It's not even that weak to BGH. If you have to Owl and BGH, or I guess like Owl and something, It's actually quite weak to silence, but I mean, a lot of like say Sneeds is kind of weak to silence as well. I guess this is a little bit weaker than Sneeds' silence, but I guess we'll see if people can make good control rogue lists. I'm not too optimistic, but it's like a puzzle to solve, so it's like a fun thing. Tuskarr Totemic, 3 mana for 3/2 Battlecry, summon a random totem. This feels like really strong, actually, right? I mean, if you actually think about this getting a mana tide totem, it's like a 3 mana 3/2 cantrip that summons so much power on the board, like they have to kill a mana tide as well. Wait, what happened to my tab? There's actually this new Totem Golem thing that's really strong. Like, this would be insane if you get a Totem Golem from this Tuskarr Totemic. So you get a 3 mana for 3/2 and a 3/4. That's like just crazy. I think this is a really strong card. These are both really strong cards. I guess like Shaman needs it. I guess like I'm making a prediction right now. Like Shaman is gonna like definitely go back into like popularity or like a top class again after TGT. Inspire mechanic is very board control oriented. Shaman's like a super board control class, kind of like a paladin. Like very like the inspire keyword is very good for Shaman. Like even if you just don't look at any cards, just think about like simply inspire, how it works. It makes so much sense to run inspire in Shaman decks. This card is like a powerhouse. This card's a powerhouse. Even if you get like a say like a taunt totem, right, or whatever, like a 0/2, a 3 mana for a 3/2 and a 0/2 taunt. Like how good or how bad is that? Like how good are the 3-drops now? I almost feel like that's actually like good, right? 3 mana for a 3/2 and a 0/2 taunt. That's better than 3 mana 3/3 already. Yeah, this is good. How does Shaman beat Consecration? Play minions that weren't 2 health, or just don't like kill. Just trade. Like the way you play around AoE is trade, right? Because if you just trade with every other minion for Paladin, like just trade, then even if you do get AoE down, you still have board control or initiative, kind of. Totem Golem. I guess I just talked about this. I guess I talked about the other one, but this is again really strong. I kind of really like the 2 mana overload for 1 kind of style, because what it allows you to do is play this on turn 2 and play another like generally in Hearthstone 3-drops are kind of awkward. I feel like 2 is really strong. There's a lot of good 2-drops, but not a lot of good 3-drops. And since Hero Power is also on turn 2, you can play this Totem Golem on turn 2 and then still not really be affected by the overload if you just Hero Power, kind of. And 3/4 is like insane amount of power on turn 2. It's like in a way it's like easy to deal with because it's like just not death rattle minion, but I mean it's a 2-drop still. It's like you're not ever too scared of freezing trap on a 2 mana minion or like a 3 mana minion. Overload hurts Shaman against Joust. Yeah, but I don't really know if that really matters. I think it's good. It's an individually powerful, strong card as well. And Shaman's getting more stuff too. Like I'm excited about all the Shaman cards so far, it seems. Ancestral Knowledge, basically like an AI for 2 mana overload 2. Like it might not be as good as AI because it costs 4 mana, but like overload's not as like I'd rather kind of like pay 2 mana and then 1 than 3 mana in some way. So and like it's just ultimately like Shaman, you don't have that effect. So it's really nice to get something new. Like say you're playing around AoE, for example, a class with Arcane Intellect is just so much better than a class without Arcane Intellect if you have it in your deck, right? And Shaman's a class that you play around AoE a lot simply because you're really board control oriented, and like the moment that like you get enough and you don't want to play anything else, you just kind of like say you're playing around Brawl, you just don't do anything, right? Maybe make a Hero Power. But it'd be so good to say Ancestral Knowledge and like kind of like get to develop your hand without playing more into AoE. Right now, like Shaman, you don't really have anything like that. Even like Argent Drake, it kind of allows you to like play around AoE by like, just being a cycle card, but still it doesn't actually draw you 2 cards. It only draws you 1. If you get Brawled or Flame Strike, like you're still not like coming out any ahead. So I kind of like this card. Not sure how popular it's going to be though. A lot of tempo to give up. Probably one of the coolest Inspire mechanics. 5 mana for 3/6. Very similar to Quartermaster in a way, but it's even slower card than Quartermaster, which I kind of like for Shaman, just because Shaman like it reminds me of like a really like grindy class where you like make totems, play super slow. Yeah, this is like a stronger body than Quartermaster. 3/6 compared to 2/5. If you actually look at like the numbers, right, how much stats does a 5-drop have to be like good on its own? Probably like a 5 mana for 5/6 would be good, right? So it's not quite good enough, but you can easily play this on turn 7. You can like it's not a 6/3 as well. If they don't have board control, like say they don't have any minion on board, a 5-mana for 3/6 is exactly as hard to kill as a 5-mana for a 5/6, right? It's like the 6 that really matters, not the 3, as far as like if they don't have minions. The 3 is only relevant if they have board control, like if they have minions, right? Because it doesn't fight back as well. So like they can trade minions into it and it doesn't die. Like it doesn't trade. So again, like if you already have board control, you can even play on turn 5 just because it's as hard to kill as a 5/6. And this could easily like replace Bloodlust, right? Bloodlust is so bad, kind of, or it's so like specific, whereas this is like a way to kind of like add that kind of effect in where you can win the game through totems. But right now totems don't really win the shaman the game sometimes, whereas like this can really win you the game with totems. I feel like mid-range shaman is getting a large buff. But yeah, I like this card. I think this could be a weird prediction, but I think this card could be as influential as Quartermaster, and that's saying a lot because Quartermaster is like a super influential card. Another thing is, I wonder if they're gonna fix it, but what happens if you have one of each totem and you play Thunderbluff Valiant, or like you have Inspire? Like, can you not click the button anymore? Because right now, you can't click the button if you have more than 4 totems. But it seems like with Inspire, even if you don't make a totem, it seems like sometimes you'd want to. I guess, I don't know, it's probably not a big deal either way. That's too much. I mean, there's more totems now than like Muster for Battle. Yeah, Quartermaster, it's a really important combo, but there's like Totem Golem, there's the Tuskarr Totemic, so I think it's cool. Shaman's actually the first deck I'm going to play, I think, after Draenei Totemcarver, Battlecry. So it's basically a 4-drop that gets stronger. This is not very exciting for me. I think this is not going to be very good. In Arena, maybe. This is like an Arena card, I feel. It's not going to be really in any constructed deck. The effect is too small. 4-drops are so competitive. Shamans have Shredder, and you also have... I'm so bad with names, but Flame Guard, Fire Guard, or something. No, but I just don't... like. It's not really a 4-drop. Realistically, you're not having enough totems on turn 4. Late game, it's not making a big difference. Say you have a lot of totems late game, and a card like Thunderbluff Valiant is going to be way more influential. It's also not a must kill thing. Like, say you get a 4-mana 5/5 or 6/6, it's still like not really a must kill thing. Whereas like a Thunderbluff Valiant, it almost has like taunt in a way. It's like a knife juggler in the way that like it's like a must kill thing. I think this is easily the worst shaman card that's revealed so far. Not excited about it at all. Demonfuse onto the Warlock cards. 2 mana, give a demon 3/3, give your opponent mana crystal. That's really aggressive. I don't feel like it could be really strong to deal with, but I mean, you have other cards that do almost the same thing that don't give your opponent a mana crystal. So far, like any card that's giving your opponent mana crystal, I guess the Arcane Golem is used, but that's like weird in the sense that Arcane Golem is like their last kind of burn on you, so it doesn't matter if they give you a mana crystal if you're dead, kind of, right, with Arcane Golem. Whereas Demonfuse is not like that. It's not a burst card. It's like a board control card, right? Like, if you just want to kill someone, you'd use Power Overwhelming or Soulfire. There's no way you use 2 mana to deal 3 damage card to kill someone. It's like a board control card. And those cards, I don't feel like you can give your opponent mana crystal. I don't value this very highly. I don't even value this highly in Arena. I think it'll just do poorly in everything. Wrathguard, again, like this, I guess I've seen people rate this high, but I don't rate it very high. I feel like 2-drops are more competitive than 1-drops, so like a 1-mana Flame Imp is better than a 3/2 is better than a 2-mana 4/3. And also, realistically, you're never taking less than 3 damage, but you can take more than 4 damage, or you can take more than 3 damage. Like, if they overkill Wrathguard, they can actually overkill Wrathguard by a huge amount. Like, say you're playing against Oil Rogue and you play this late game, and they flurry you for like 7, you're taking like 14 damage from a flurry or something. Like, Pit Lord isn't really used, that's 4 mana for a 5/6, just because it's too much life. And realistically, like, a lot of Daemonzoos are running one Flame Imp now. And also, the two, like, again, like, what cards could you replace? Because you have, like, Nerubian Egg, Haunted Creeper, Knife Juggler. Like, these are too important. I guess you could play this almost like in, like, a more, like, individually powerful zoo deck instead of a zoo that relies on creature buffs like Defender of Argus and Abusive Sergeant. But I just feel like if you are playing zoo, you might as well... I feel like the better one is, like, the Sticky Death Rattle zoo compared to something like a mech deck where you just run strong individual minions. I don't think it's that good. It's a demon. I guess kind of relevant, but I don't think it's good enough. Oh yeah, I think I talked about this before, but 6 mana for 4/4 is 2 weak. This is clearly a combo card. Cards you draw from your hero power cost 0. It seems very strong. I like how they made this. I feel like this is like a casual player card. Like Emperor, a combo is one of the worst things for the game. Like I guess like combo and synergy are like synergy is really good for the game and combo is really bad. And there's like a fine line between combo and synergy, right? Because ultimately combo and synergy is like the same thing, kind of. It just like depends how degenerate synergy is. Like super degenerate synergy becomes combo, right? Whereas like, synergy is like a good thing. So again, this is clearly like a combo card, but it's like made for like super casual players. It's way too weak for competitive, I think. Like for 6 mana for 4/4. Again, it's not. It's like it's not even. It's like a must kill card. So a card like the Tuskarr or Thunderbluff Valiant has more life. Like if this is like a 2/8 or something where you could play it when you have board control and it's very hard to remove, but 6 mana for 4 health is very easy to remove. It's like not even hard to remove. Realistically, you have to play this on turn 8, and it's too random what you get. Combo decks usually only win one way, and it has to be consistent, right? So when you're playing Wilfred Fizzlebang, it's just completely not going to be consistent. You have to like draw that one card you want immediately. I don't feel like you're going to make up the tempo generally. Like say you're not playing a combo deck, you just want to use this for tempo, play this, then draw a card, and then just kind of play it for like cheapness. I don't feel like it's going to make up for it because the 4/4 itself on this minion is too weak. So yeah, I don't think it's very good. I mean, also it's like keep in mind this is my card review. It's like if you guys don't agree with it, it's okay. I'm not saying I'm right or you're wrong or anything like that. It's just like this is just simply my card review, so I'm gonna just say my views on it, and I'm not saying it's all gonna be right. It's just what I'm currently thinking about all the cards. So on to the warrior card, Bash. This is like weird because they're giving warriors a way to like deal direct damage. I guess like Mortal Strike deals direct damage, but Mortal Strike is like so weak, and this is actually pretty good. Warriors have an abundance of removal though. I felt like I rated this card higher at first glance, but at this point with Deathbite and Fireworks being in the game, as well as like Executes, Shield Slams, I actually don't think Bash will see much play, just because even though it's nice to be able to get through taunts as Warrior, realistically it's not enough of a difference, and the other ones are more efficient. Warriors actually a class that can survive the weapon face damage you're taking. Like Rogue, for example, this might be a lot better because you need the healing to use your weapon a lot. Like Warriors have so much armor already that they realistically don't care about slamming a Fireworks into your Knife Juggler or like a Deathbite into like another minion. They can take a lot of damage and still not be dead. I don't like Bash. I mean, I guess it's just like I don't think it's gonna be used super a lot. So King's Defender, 3 mana, 3/2 weapon. If you have taunt, gain 1 durability. So I guess it's like 3 mana for 3/2 or 3/3. Again, I just think this is not going to be used at all. I think it's not easy for Warrior to have taunt. Like realistically, it's not even like it opens up a new archetype. Like it just doesn't make like there's no such archetype as a taunt Warrior. It's not like a control deck or aggro deck or anything like that. Like taunt deck isn't really a thing. It's just like even if it was a 3 mana for 3/3 weapon, I don't even think it'd be that good. Like if this battle card didn't exist and it just said 3/3, I don't even think that would be good. So it wouldn't be that bad either. But Warrior has so many weapons, Fireworks and Deathbite. I just don't see why you would need King's Defender. I guess it's like an arena card in a way where you have a hard time drafting Fireworks and Deathbite sometimes, and you just need some weapons. I guess like when this was initially spoiled, I think some people said like if you have for each minion you have taunt gain 1 durability, but I don't even think that would make a big difference either. So kind of like a nice filler card for arena. I feel not as good as the other weapons. Kind of like the Ogre War Maul or something maybe. Bolster, give your taunt minions +2/+2. I guess I've never seen this card before. Let me think about it for a second. It's one of the cards I honestly I don't think I've ever seen it before. I don't think like Bolster and King's Defender have any synergy again. It's like I said, it's not like even if this like becomes like a taunt thing, King's Defender is just too weak. Even if it was a 3 mana 3/3, it wouldn't be that good. I mean, what taunts? Let's see. So 2 mana to give 1 minion +2/+2 is like say Mark of the Wild level, maybe not so good, especially because Mark of the Wild also gives taunt. So to get value from this, you want to give your minions like 2 minions taunts, or more, 2 or more. I could see this like there's not a lot of good taunters, right? There's Sludge Belcher, there's like Sen'jin, which is not used that much, and then I guess there's like a neutral card that I saw that might actually be decent, that might see some play. Yeah, this is the card. Like another taunt potentially. I guess I don't value Bolster that high. It's too situational. I feel Warrior has enough situational stuff. Defender, Argus, Goldshar, Footman, Noitron. I don't think so. I guess I can open up some new archetypes, but this one is much less exciting. I feel like a Hobgoblin Warrior or something. Yeah, I guess I'm just rating this low in Arena, and I don't feel like this can really realistically have too much playability spawning new archetypes either. Maiden of the Lake, 4 mana for 2/6, your hero power costs 1. Okay, so I guess let's first evaluate like how efficient this minion is, like the body wise. 4 mana for a 2/6, adds up to like 8. Realistically, the Getty is like 9. 2/6 isn't spread out very well. I think at this point, for a card like this, you'd rather have like a 3/5 than a 2/6. And there are a lot of 4 mana for 3/5s, like Violet Teacher and stuff. Or like Dragonkin Sorcerer. I think 2/6 is probably worse. And your hero power costing 1. Body looks good to me. Okay, I guess not too exciting for me, honestly. I feel like it's a little bit too weak. I mean, there's always filler cards in every set, like kind of like decent, like nothing too exciting. I don't think the power is that significant. I don't think the minion is strong enough. And Chillwind Yeti is not exactly the gold standard anymore, right? Not even that strong to have a 4/5. Coliseum Manager. I might go through these a little bit quicker, especially if they're like not super exciting. This is not super exciting. 3 mana for 2/5. I don't even know if it'd be played, right? Like, there's already 3 mana for 3/4s. Spire Tank. 2/5 is probably worse than 3/4 for creature combat purposes. Return this minion to your hand. Inspire. I can't say it being an upside, but I guess like you could think of this as like kind of an upside, kind of a downside. I guess like since it's a choose effect, you can choose when you're doing it. It could be like more of an upside, but realistically, how slow and grindy of a deck are you going to play to trade with your Coliseum Manager to a 2/1 or something and then return it to your hand and play it again? And it's like a low impact card late game, like Food for Grim Patrons. I guess I wouldn't say this card's good. So, okay, Frost Giant. Another giant. All giants are kind of the same as far as like the cost and the card. 8/8. This one costs 1 less for each time you use your hero power. Like, my first intuition is, like, I guess like people have asked about this for like Handlock, as far as like, could it replace Molten Giants or Mountain Giants? Like, I think the answer to that is like easily no. Hero powering 10 times is insane. Realistically, games go to 20 turns into fatigue. Like, 20 turns are already fatigue, and using your hero power for half the turns is very hard. Because you start the game with like 26 cards in your deck, or 27 cards. 26 or 25 cards in your deck, and like realistically you're drawing cards too, like with effects. So it's really, really hard to actually use your hero power so much. And realistically, in order for 8 to be it has to cost like 4 mana, right? Or maybe 5 mana. 5 mana for 8 is not great. 5 mana for 8 is like good for aggro like Fellow Reaver, but 5 mana for 8/8 as far as like playing in a control deck like super late game, super situationally, it's not even good. I think like 3 or 4 is good, but it's like too late. Maybe you could like think about using Frost Giant with like Coldarra Drake. Yeah, the mage card. That's what I just thought about. It's definitely something about for that deck. Otherwise, I don't think it's a good handlock card. Not a good hunter card. By the time you hear Power Slam 10 times, already dead as hunter. I don't think it's going to replace anything in handlock. I think I might go well on a control mage, actually. Control mage is a class that can actually get into those super late game scenarios. You can actually use your hero power a lot because of Coldarra Drake, and it goes very well with like the style, like with like say Duplicate or Echo maybe. Otherwise, yeah, I think think about that card in that deck. Skycap'n Kragg, 7 mana for a 4/6 charger. It costs less for each friendly pirate. I'm assuming it's on the battlefield, so let me think about what mana cost this would be first in order for it to be pretty good. I know there's like a pirate lord that gives all your pirates +2/+2 or something. So you can have like a 6/8 charger. Is that right? So you pay 4 mana 4/6 charger, that's amazing. 5 mana 4/6 charger is amazing. Wait, could this actually be good just like as like a... Oh, but it's... Yeah. It's not that easy for the Sky Captain to be cheaper. So I was thinking like you don't have to get much discount for it to be good, but you're not getting much discount to begin with. Like, realistically, how many pirates can you even have on the battlefield? If you have 1 6 mana for 4/6 charger, let me just do the math on it real quick. 10, 14. It's like worth 14 in like the mathematical way I do the cards. 5 drops are usually worth around 11. 6 drops can go to, let me add up Karen real quick, 4, 10, 14. So, okay, so 6 drop for 14 is actually pretty competitive. This is okay, it's just like, it's very hard to see this being used. It's almost like a defensive charger in a way, being having more life than attack. If it was swapped, it wouldn't be 14 in my system, it'd be like 16, because the charge makes the attack worth double, kind of. I think that's the way that Blizzard kind of has been doing it. Because, like, if you look at all the cost per mana, like, that's usually what's end up happening. It's, like, so hard to think about because Pirate is, like, so out of the ordinary, you know? My system is basically just adding up the numbers, and there's, like, certain effects that are worth certain numbers, right? But, like, Charge doubles the attack. Divine Shield is also effect as doubling the attack, but I feel like Divine Shield's over, like, it's not good to think about Divine Shield like that. It's just the way that they've been doing it. Anyway, Silverhand Regent. Oh, interesting. This is so cool. I really like these kind of effects. Like, oh my god, is this my card for Mage? This might just be the card I was looking for. I didn't really see this card before. This could be really good in like a Control Mage or something. But anyways, it's like a 3-mana for a 3/3. Not the best, but it has like a lot of implications in Shaman and Paladin as well. Because recruits are better in Paladin. Shamans are really good at fighting for board control like this. Maybe as a mage, you could use this because you don't have another good 3-drop as like a control mage. I mean, it takes a long time for this to be good, right? But like the stats on it is pretty competitive so you don't really need it to be that good as far as a 3-drop goes. The 3 mana for a 3/3 is okay. 3 mana for 4/3 is like around as strong as it gets. Inspires some of the Silverhand Recruit. How easy is it to play this on turn 3 and Paladin to play something else on turn 4 with Hero Power? I guess for Paladin it doesn't make that much sense because you have too many 3-drops. Elder Peacekeeper and Muster are too good, and Callhammer kind of, so I feel like it's hard to fit in, but it should be a very good arena card because you can, it's like a strong card, but it's limited by the mana cost of it. Like, it's in Paladin, you have too many 3-drops. Shaman's another class, you have a lot of 3-drops. So honestly, I feel like could even be best in Mage for Constructed, but it's not actually that strong. It's kind of a weak card. So good arena card and has some synergy with Paladin Quartermaster, but Paladin can't use it, kind of, I feel. Argent Watchman. Oh yeah, see, that's one. I don't like this card because 2 mana for 2/4 is like 2 mana for 2/4 isn't that good. And this is clearly like an Inspire. It's kind of like an Ancient Watcher in a way, but Inspire makes it so you can attack. This is not worth silencing, not like an Ancient Watcher. It's just barely stronger than a normal 2-drop. And honestly, like, people have upsides, right? So even if you have like a 2 mana 2/4 or a 2 mana 4/2, which don't exist right now, but the current like 3/2s and 2/3s all have upsides. Like Sun Fury taunts, Knife Juggler has a juggler effect. Amani Berserker enrages, Fairy Dragon spell immune. I'm not really sure how much those effects are worth, but realistically I can't see this being good just because, say it's like an anti-aggro card or something. Against aggro, you don't have time to use your hero power. You want to play as fast as possible generally. You don't really have time to like play hero power in turn 3. You want to like play as strong as possible moves. So I really don't like it. I don't think it's very good. Kodorider, 6 mana, 3/5, Inspire, summon a 3/5 War Kodo. I guess this was like one of the first Inspire cards released. It's actually a card that can take over the game. And if you play this on turn 8, you get 2 3/5s, which is reasonably powerful. The thing is, like, the health isn't so competitive as like you can drop on turn 6. Like the Shaman one, with 6 health, you can drop on turn 5 if you have board control and it's hard for them to remove. But this one, like 5 health on turn 6 on a 6-drop is just kind of too weak. So Kodorider is a card where maybe I feel like you have to play it on turn 8 or something. It's like too hard to ever play Kodorider as a turn 6-drop without using the hero power immediately almost. I wonder if this is a good anti-Grim Patron card actually, because 3/5s are really good, and Patron Warrior, like, they don't really clear your board every turn. And it like forces a reaction, but I think it's maybe too slow. Justicar Trueheart, one of the older cards that's been spoiled. 6 mana for 6/3. Battle cry, replace your hero power with a better one. I saw this before. Okay. Oh, so it basically doubles your hero power, which gives you a choice. Does double, no damage, kind of. I like how they screw over Hunter. It's just like double everything except Hunter. It's like, we don't want to use Smart that much. Okay, just on that, it's pretty cool. Oh, I like this. I love this, the lore here. Fire Blast rank 2. Back in the old WoW days, the rank 2 spell. This is like a permanent effect right throughout the game. So 6 mana for 6/3. I guess realistically this has to go. The game has to be long, right? It's very weak, 6 mana for 6/3. But this is a card that doesn't have to survive. It's not like those Inspire cards like Kodorider. You don't care if your Trueheart dies after you play it. It's like you get the body and then it doesn't have to stick around. It just immediately replaces your hero power for the rest of the game. For some of these, it could be pretty good, but realistically, for a 6 mana for 6/3, it's really uncompetitive stats as far as the 6-drop goes. You can realistically get like 5 more health, right? 6 mana for 6/8 or something, 6/7 Boulder Fist, which is not good enough. Maybe like 6 drops have to be as like 6/8s or something to be playable. Which class would this fit the best? It's kind of hard to evaluate because it's a neutral card, so it's like hard to try to fit in some which classes are good. Not really Warrior or Shaman because 6 mana is too competitive in those decks, and it's like for Druid, I feel like it's too slow if you're throwing combo. Doubling Druid hero power doesn't seem very good either. Maybe a slow Mage, but again, that's too slow. You'd rather play Emperor or Sylvanas. I don't know. It actually seems a bit weak, honestly. So Warrior, you can tank up. If you go super long, you can tank up enough, but you can play Shield Maiden for 6 mana for a 5/5, body stronger, and getting 5 armor compared to you need hero power up. Every time you hero power, it's like a 2 health difference, right? So 1, 2. You need to hero power 3 times before you get more armor from Trueheart. It also doesn't combo very well with Shield Slam, and Warrior has so many 6 drops because Shield Maiden is better probably. Sylvanas is like mandatory control warrior, and Emperor is actually kind of good. Even like Emperor, you can't even fit in sometimes. I feel like for mid-range Paladin, you really want to start closing the game on turn 6, or like playing around AoE. I guess kind of playing around AoE, but I don't know. I don't feel it's that good for mid-range Paladin. Our lowly Squire, not Argent Squire. 1 mana for a 1/2 that gains 1 attack for Inspire. I think this is just like not really influential. I don't see this being a better aggro card or better like anti-aggro card like a Zombie Chow or something like a 2/3. It's because it's not like Undertaker. I guess they learned from Undertaker cards so they can get too out of control. Even if it's just +1/+1, I might not even get so out of control. The thing about Undertaker was that you could keep developing your board. If you just turn 1 Art Lily Squire turn 2 hero power, that's not really developing your board. I think this is too weak, like a little bit too weak. I think if this is like +1/+1, it might be better or playable, but I don't realistically think this is that playable otherwise. Argent Warhorse, 5 mana for 4 mana 5/3 Beast. It's just kind of relevant. Reveal a minion each deck. So it's jousting, and if you win the joust, you gain charge. This is actually kind of strong in the sense that it's a beast, which is kind of relevant sometimes, and 4 mana for 8 power, kind of, or 8 stats. Realistically, you can get like up to 9 stats. 5/3 is not itemized very well, but with charge, it is really well. It's just like it's kind of weird in the sense that decks that are bigger are not likely to want to go like face as much. But I feel like this is really for Druid actually. Realistically, I think Druid because Druid's like a weird sense that it's like a deck with high mana curve, and you actually don't have a lot of low cost minions because like your low stuff is Innervate and Wall Growth, and Jousting only reveals minions, not cards. So realistically, as a Druid, your minion curve is really high, even if your mana curve is not that high. And this is like 5/3 Charger for 4 is insanely good. And Druid, all that like damage adds up for Force Nature, Savage Roar, and also just if you don't win the Joust, 4 mana 5/3. You know, I'm trying to think if this could replace Pile Shredder in Druid, and it almost seems like it could. Just because anytime you get charged, it's so good. Shredder's not really about being a 4-drop in Druid. Oftentimes, like, Shredders are played like, late game for Druid. Because, like, you cycle through so much, like, after Ancient Lore, for example, then you start playing, like, Shredders on turn 8 or something, sometimes. I kind of like this in Druid. Otherwise, I'm not sure. Seems pretty good in there, though. Mid-range double combo Druid. Garrison Commander, you can use your hero power twice in each turn. So this is like a pretty competitive stats, right? 2 mana for 2/3. Like, you're almost paying nothing for this effect. But whether this effect is strong, I don't know. Let's think about it for a second. I don't think Warrior can use it. Armorsmith and stuff's too good. I don't think Hunters can use it. Not aggressive enough the body, just to hero power them twice. I don't think Paladins would use it. What classic you don't really care where 2-drop? Warlock even? Is that even possible? I don't think you could life tap twice in 1 turn. That's too greedy. Realistically, I guess it's not that strong. Maybe for like Mage or something like you don't really have a lot of good options on turn 2. There's like Mad Scientist for Mage. It's not that influential for Druid and stuff. Druid's like a card that doesn't actually have a lot of good slow mana minions. I guess I don't see it. I don't see how it's too good. Nexus Champion Sarad. Inspire, add a random spell to your hand. So this basically draw a random card. Oh wait, it's Inspire, not Battlecry. Oops. Okay, so I guess when I look at Inspire cards, I look at like a health first and whether you can drop it on turn 5 against an empty board and how hard it would be to kill. 5 health is a lot better than 4. Like there's a lot of 4 health stuff, breakpoints like Death Bite, Swipe, True Sword Champion. So if you do have board control and you play Nexus Champion Sarad, realistically it's gonna maybe not die. Like 5 mana for 5 health. Like 5/5 is pretty good, 4/5 is actually pretty good as well. This is something that could really take over the game because adding a random spell to your hand is a really strong Inspire effect. I think I like this card. I think it's pretty strong overall. It could fit in a lot of decks. Realistically, almost any deck. I could see it being fit in mid-range Paladin or Paladin. Even though they have a lot of 5-drop, I can definitely see it being fit in Shaman. I can definitely see it being fit in Mage. It's like okay. What about some like control classes? Also, you can play this late game, right, as a control class. Like, say you clear out the board as Control Warrior, or you can play on turn 7 as Control Warrior. I could see it being pretty good. Sea Kraken, Battlecry, deal 4 damage. I think this is like exclusively like a big minion. I know there's not a lot of big non-legendaries for like a more casual players out low rankings. Like, not a lot to cards to choose from. Or an arena. I mean, this is clearly like a... Obviously, it's not going to be used in like any of the top decks. It's just like a card that fills in the mana slot for like a common slot or something, not a non-legendary. Might be a little bit weaker than the 8 mana for 8/8 Divine Shield guy in arena, though. I think that's better than 9 mana for 9/7, deal 4 damage. Injured Kvaldir. It's basically a 1 mana for 2/1 that has like Priest synergy, Injured Blightmaster synergy. There's also some other synergy with Priests. Injured Blightmaster Resurrect synergy. It could like make a Resurrect deck perhaps, but 1 mana for 2/4 isn't that good. There's already 1 mana for 2/3s. 1 mana for 2/1 is pretty bad, but not that bad. Like people do use 1 mana. Like I never feel too bad about 1 mana for 2/1s, just because 1 mana 2/1 is not exactly that bad. It just doesn't make really sense to use 1 mana 2/1s. I mean, this effect doesn't make sense in an aggro deck, so I guess I don't see this card ever being used unless it's in a Priest Resurrect deck or just a normal Priest because you can heal it. And maybe it'll Frothing Berserker. That's not enough synergy at all, I think, with Frothing. Master of Ceremonies. If you have a minion with spell damage, gain +2/+2. 3 mana 4/2. So it's big game hunter stats. So realistically, you really want spell damage. You could play it for tempo. Then it's a 3 mana for a 6/4. I guess like I have a hard time seeing like something. This card really reminds me of Blood Knight, the one that eats Divine Shields. And in a sense, like you don't have to lose your own Divine Shield. It's like if you play Blood Knight, you actually like say you play mini bot or something in Blood Knight, you actually lose your Divine Shield. This you don't. But then like 3/3 is better than 4/2. I feel a lot often, and Blood Knight you can actually get your opponent's Divine Shields. Good in Shaman maybe, but that's realistically like you're not gonna make a totem turn 2 and it survive like as a 0/2 totem. And there's always cards like Blood Knight where you can snowball just as hard if that happens. I don't think this is that good. Maybe Rogue, honestly, it seems like the best just because Rogue is so tempo based. So and Rogue cycles through the deck a lot, and like you can combo this with, like Blood Mage or Azure Drake. Like it's just like if you can like create a turn with Rogue where you like flood the board really strong, you can kill them like really quickly when they fall behind. It has a lot of implications than maybe Rogue, but still I feel like it's too hard to get a spell power minion survive. Like I almost feel like if your minion survives a spell power as Rogue, you should be in good shape anyways. It's just like as Rogue, I guess you can like play it in the same turn as a spell power minion sometimes. These are I'm probably gonna go over these together. I guess they're different, but they're like both Spire Tank level. It's like Spire Tank is as strong as you ever get with 3 drops right now. There's nothing like stronger than Spire Tank as far as the stats go, other than Blackwing Technician, which relies on you having a dragon. I think this one is better than this one. Divine Shield's not as good as 3 damage to random enemy. It's cool because they add these cards in where I think the people with best 3 drops are like Priest and Paladin, right? Because Paladin has Muster and Alder Peacekeeper and stuff, and Priest has like a Dark Cultist and stuff on 3, like really good 3 drops already. So those are the classes with the most amount of buffs, like whenever you target a minion with the spell. Other classes, like say Druid doesn't have a lot of 3 drops, Mage doesn't have a lot of 3 drops, but they don't have anything that targets minions with the spell. So like on one hand you want to use it in Paladin Priest, and on the other hand you kind of don't because they have better 3 drops. That's kind of cool that they did that. Makes you think more about it. Spare Parts is actually kind of relevant with this. I can see it maybe being used in some kind of Mage deck with Spare Parts. Just because Paladin and Priest, you have too many other 3 drops. especially this one with like Tempo Mage even. Oh, this is like almost my favorite card. In fact, I would say this is my favorite card so far, Tournament Medic. I know I tweeted about like give me a like an Illuminator. At first I thought it wasn't that good, but I thought it was 1/7 at first. It's actually 1/8. Like 1/8 adds up to 9, same as Chillwind Yeti. It's very hard to kill because it's like 8 health, so like you don't have to combo this with Inspire, you can play on turn 4. It's just 1/8 is really bad in minion combat. I know some people were talking about like this being food for Grim Patron, because you can just it can get out of control. But realistically, like the decks that you would use Tournament Medic on, maybe like for example, a Control Paladin and Control Mage are the two cards that I'm thinking the two decks that could use this the best, and neither of them really care about that since you can just Flame Strike or Equality Consecrate or something. Control decks against Patron, you feel like you're just like saving AoEs for patrons, right? So it doesn't really matter, even if there's food for patron. Like you're just baiting out the patron, then just going like AoEing. I don't know. I feel it's pretty good. 1/8's really good against Face Hunter. It's also like I think like almost like the biggest implication is not. It's very bad against mid range minions as a 1/8, but I felt like they really needed an Inspire mechanic that could counter Freeze Mage, right? Because Freeze Mage just doesn't care about any minions on the field, and they just like freeze and then just start burning you. And the Tournament Medic, it's like it's actually really hard for Freeze Mage to kill with 8 life. Like I guess like when this card was released, most people were talking about this card against like aggro, but in reality, like it might be even more relevant against Freeze Mage because it's like almost unremovable, and it's an Inspire mechanic that Freeze Mage really cares about. A lot of Inspire mechanics Freeze Mage doesn't care about, like things like the Kodo or generating more like minion value. Inspire create a 1/1, Inspire create a 3/5, like even like Inspire give your totems plus 2 attack. Freeze Mage doesn't care about any of that. Freeze Mage does care about Inspire, restore 2 health to your hero, and 4-mana for 1/8. Even though it's kind of weird, it's actually like decent stats if you think about the effect. I think a 1/7 wouldn't be good. A 1/8 is actually like, kind of good. I almost wish that it was like more like Illuminator Inspire, like 3-mana for 2/4 Inspire, restore 4 health. But I guess I can kind of get behind this. Definitely gonna try it in some of the control decks. Oh, Master Jouster. This is basically like Sunwalker. If you win, it's a bigger Sunwalker. If you lose, it's a 5/6. Actually, kind of interesting because against aggro, when you really want the Sunwalker effect, you're very likely to get it off. And I feel like it could be used in like Ramp Druid or even mid-range Druid, just because Druid has a high mana curve. Like the Ramp minions or Innervate and Wallgrowth aren't minions, and your minions are actually high mana. I feel like this has a lot of implication in Druid. I don't feel a lot in Control Paladin, just because it's like Tyrion's so much better. And Paladins probably have lower mana curves than Druid. Actually, one of the decent jousting cards. Probably 4 mana. Whenever you play a card, Battlecry, gain +1/+1. Again, like I kind of value this kind of the same as a Shaman card. I don't think that these are like these. It's hard to play that in Battlecries, and these like 4 mana 4/4s that get like +1/+1 for like a rare effect or whatever. It's not that influential. I think this is like not very good. Even like 4 mana 5/5 is not good. It's not hard to kill for health on turn 4. Flame Juggler. So this is like the first 2/3 or 3/2 that had a Battlecry effect or any effect that was like unanimously good, like mathematically good, I guess, because like Sun Fury, Fairy Dragon, Knife Juggler, things like that. Like Knife Juggler, if you don't play a minion with it, it doesn't do anything. Like so, for the most part, the 2/3s and 3/2s currently don't have any effect unless like situationally. This has like a non-situational effect for 2 mana 2/3 or 3/2. But the effect is, I think, maybe a little bit too weak, so I have a hard time finding a slot for it. I know I talked about this on stream before when someone talked about this when it first got released, but it's cool in the sense that it's like an effect that's happening no matter what that's good for you, but it's just a little bit too weak. I guess you're kind of sounding like Mad Bomber, but that doesn't really count because Mad Bomber's as likely to kill you as them, so. But yeah, I think Mad Bomber's probably better than Flame Juggler, just because like you can kind of build your deck around it, where Mad Bomber's good. 6 mana, 7/4 Skeleton Knight. Death Rattle or reveal a minion in each deck. If yours costs more, returns to your hand. I know this. I've seen this one. This is not very good. I think this is like really bad actually. 6 mana, 7/4 is way too weak, and this can get silenced and killed. I know it's not that bad if you get silenced and killed because it costs them some stuff, but I don't think this is on like nearly on the level of Anub'Arak, because Anub'Arak gives a 4/4 as well, and it's not like a random thing. I don't know, but like, what do you think of this and then just like Pied Sky Golem, right? Pied Sky Golem is a 6/4, and Death Rattle just get a 4-drop randomly. A 4-drop is better than drawing a random card, and effectively this is just drawing a card on Death Rattle. like half the time. I know you're drawing like a good card kind of, but I think this is like really bad. So 4 mana for 4/4. If you have at least 4 other minions, deal 4 damage. Deal 4 damage is better than charge, but not by that much. I think it's way too hard to activate this. 4 mana 4/4 is not too uncompetitive as far as stats. Like 4/4 is not that little, but this is just, I don't know, it's way too, like, I don't really like the word win more, but this is like too hard to get off the battle cry, like way too hard. Even if you're Zoo, right? Like say you have 4 more minions, I guess it's pretty strong, but also like say you have Defender Argus, it's actually, you only need 2 minions to be really good. I guess Argus is still not as powerful as this battle cry, but it's way too situational. Clockwork Knight, 5 mana for 5/5 mech that gives a friendly mech +1/+1. This is really similar to the Priest card. The Priest mech buffs another mech, and that is the mech itself. I wonder if this is better than Fel Reaver in mech decks, because Fel Reaver is weak to BGH, and this gives an immediate effect. I think it's reasonable. I never feel too bad about 5 mana 5/5s. Really cool art. I could see this definitely like kind of being played in some mech decks. Not only because it's like kind of like 5 mana for 6/6, but which is like kind of good, but also its mech itself has some synergy with like Mech Warper. I think it'll be more reasonable to play this than some of the current 5 and 4 mechs. Things like the Mech Scrapper or whatever, the one that gets bigger every time you lose a mech. Silent Knight, 3 mana, 2/2 stealth, Divine Shield. Okay, so this is like a buff absorber. It's stealth with Divine Shield, and you can Blessing Kings it. You can buff it somehow, you can get a lot of value. Wait, how much is Divine Shield 2/2 worth? That's like a mini bot, right? It's okay. I mean, I feel it's a little bit too expensive. I could honestly, like, I don't see Paladins using this, even though Paladins have a lot of buffs. I could see Priests wanting to use this, though, but it's a bit too slow for Priests. Most of their, like, Velen's Chosen turns or Powered Shield trade turns, like, they want to do earlier than this. So I guess it's a bit too slow, but it's kind of cool. If it was a little bit faster, it'd be good. Oops. Argent Horse Rider. 3 mana for a 2/1 Divine Shield charge. Ooh, I like this card a lot. I actually think it's like, super influential. This is a card that's not flashy, but I feel like it's gonna make one of the biggest impacts in the metagame. It's actually really it's like a really spike heavy card. It's a really strong card. This could actually be better than Wolf Rider and aggro. This is like could even be a replacement for Wolf Rider. I think it's easily better than Wolf Rider. Wolf Rider's worth like 7 in the system, right? 3/1 is 4, and the charge for 3 is like 7. Divine Shield to charge is like 2/1 is 3. It's 5, double it with the charge, and then double it with Divine Shield, it's like 7. It's like the same mathematical stats kind of as Wolf Rider, except it's much harder to remove, right? Like it's basically Wolf Rider, right? It's very similar to Wolf Rider, and then it's harder to remove, does a little bit less damage. I think it's much better than Wolf Rider for Paladin, like way better for aggro Paladin. Aggro Paladin's becoming one of the top decks right now. For Hunter, I think it might be pretty close, whether Wolf Rider is better, this is better. But this is pretty good. I think it's good smorkin. Good card. Definitely better Wolf Rider and Aggro Paladin. I don't even know if Aggro Paladin uses Wolf Rider, actually. But like, I think Aggro Paladin would use that, though, because you can play Argent Horse Rider with oh my god, I just thought of something. What about, like, do you guys remember, like, Backspace Rogue or something? What if you play this with Cold Blood? Like, what decks have a great time dealing with a 6/1 Divine Shield? You take 6 damage, then you have to deal with a 6/1 Divine Shield. So if you don't have board control, like, say you're, like, a Druid or something, you can't like, hero power it down either. That's really strong. Like, it's really good with, like, this plus Cold Blood, this plus Blessing of Might, things like that. You could just, like, lose the game on the spot if you don't have an answer. It's very hard to have an answer to. 5 mana for a 4/3 Beast, so that's something. Inspire, give your other minions +1/+1. I don't think this is that good. But let me compare this to Thunderbluff Valiant real quick. Because this is like... I think it's not that... It's just too weak. I feel like this is just too weak. Like, again, like it's much better for an Inspire minion to be more tanky than have damage. And it's only other minions, and you're not going to have that many other minions as well. I think it's not that strong, so... Unleash synergy? Let me think about this for a second. No, well, no way. That's too weird, right? Snake Trap Unleash. I don't like it that much. It's a beast, but you can't combo this with Unleash Your Hands, right? You might as well at that point combo with Knife Juggler or even Starving Buzzard or something. Alright, last card. Garrison Jouster. Reveal a minion each deck. If yours costs more, gain +1/+1. So it's like a... I guess I'm going back to this decent amount, but I think this is... maybe only realistic, like really usable in mid-range Druid. That's a lot of interesting cards in mid-range Druid, because mid-range Druid actually like cares about Zombie Chow in the sense that you really want to value face damage as mid-range Druid. Any aggro deck, you can't run jousting stuff in aggro decks. You're just not going to win the joust ever, like almost ever. And like a lot of control decks, you'd rather just run Zombie Chow. It's not like a lot of decks would run 3 Zombie Chows. Like, it's not like you need more Zombie Chows. 2 is generally enough Chows. And, you know, it's not that consistent even in control decks. But I could see like Druid, like this being pretty useful in combo Druid, because combo Druid kind of like runs like the 1 Zombie Chow sometimes right now. So it could be like a good anti-aggro card. And it's like a nice board presence. You're pretty likely to win the joust as a Druid. So it's like a balance between Zombie Chow and like not taking. It's like kind of like a halfway, you know, like kind of like a halfway anti-aggro, kind of halfway like you still kind of care about their life. So I guess like mid-range kind of fits that bill, but I don't think you can run a mid-range Paladin, right? Because mid-range Paladin, like, it's just the mana curve is too low. Mid-range Druid mana curves, it's not mana curve, it's like minion curve. Minion curve is too low for mid-range Paladin. Minion curve is kind of high for mid-range Druid. Mid-range Shaman, minion curve is very low as well. So, yeah, we'll have to see. Alright, well, oh my god, I think that's my card review. I think I'm done.